What's going on, everyone? My name is Will, and I'm here with the wonderful Lulu Lopez. Lulu, how you doing today?
I'm great. Thank you for having me. You look so spiffy.
I get like you.
Yeah, you look very nice.
Thank you. You do too. So tell me, what do you think about this event today?
Oh my God, it's such a great turnout. I wasn't expecting so many people. I really wasn't. I was like, it's a little bit of a network party, but now to come find out, there's so much people, you can barely walk.
No, you could barely get around in this spot.
You can't.
So word from the grapevine is you're an actress.
Yes, I'm an actress and a correspondent. That's one of the main reasons why I'm actually here is because there's so many people to network here, and you don't know who's who in this network event, you know?
You really don't. So how'd you get involved into the career of the field of acting?
Ooh, that's a long story. You got to check out my book. I'm writing a book as well about my biography. But no, it was just an accident. Believe it or not, a friend of mine invited me. I wanted to be a model, and a friend of mine invited me. He was taking acting classes, and I went as a guest. And the teacher said, "Who wants to perform or do anything, improvise?" And I said, "I do." And he loved me, and he said, "You have a talent, and I'll give you free classes." And from there, I'm here. Yeah.
That's beautiful. So what are you looking to get out of this event today?
I'm actually looking to see if I meet investors or anybody that can finance. I'm actually writing a short film. I actually finished writing a short film, but I also want to get behind the scenes as producer and director. So I'm looking for financing and sponsors for my film.
And have you really worked on any recent big projects?
Yes, I'm glad you asked. My movie just came out, The Fearless Part 2. It has Mark John Jeffries on. I play opposite his girlfriend, Mark John Jeffries' girlfriend. I play Jada. It has Omar Gooding Jr. It has Peter Guns from Love and Hip Hop. It has Sab, the fighter. It has Lililo Brancato from the Bronx Tale. It has a lot of celebrities, so it's good. It's good. Yeah, life is good.
So when you're acting, what's the best thing about learning more about your character?
That's a great question. When I'm acting, what's the best thing to learn? I guess it's actually not great. People think that acting is like so fun and so great. Actually, it's a lot of work. A lot of studying. You got to study your character. You got to look, observe other people in that position, and it's really hard. And you have to memorize a lot of lines, and you have to deliver them very well as well. So it's difficult.
So you're also a part of SBE Media. Tell everyone a little bit about that.
Yes, that's my family. You guys are my home. I love Sequential behind the scenes. Shout out.
That's our cameraman.
I know he doesn't like that, but you know me. I always don't play by the rules. But anyways, yeah. Yes, I started with SBE Media, Showbiz Media. I actually, he opened the doors for me as a correspondent here in New York. And my first interview was Cesar, what's his name? From Scarface, the Chichi from Scarface. So yes, that was my first interview with Showbiz Media. But yeah, SBE Media, it's moving on up. We're all over Cablevision now and everywhere. So you joined right at the perfect time. I started it and you, woo!
Carrying on a legacy.
Yes.
That's how I gotta be. That's how it has to be.
Absolutely.
So how can anyone find you on social media?
Oh, yes, definitely. I have my manager. His name Teresa Bassin. But you can find everything about me, Lulu Actress. All together, Lulu Actress. LULUACTRESS. Just in case you missed it. And that's everywhere. In Facebook, Lulu Lopez, Lulu Actress. And Instagram, which is, my Instagram has my IMBD link, my manager's name, everything.
Well, Lulu, it's a pleasure talking to you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. You did a wonderful job. Good job, Sequential.
And we're out. Thank you so much. name is Will, and I have with me Shelly Bromfield. Shelly, how are you today?
How are you? I'm wonderful tonight at Fabio's fabulous networking event. We love Fabio.
We love Fabio. It's always a great time, and Happy New Year!
Thank you. Same to you. It's been a hell of a year, I have to say.
Yeah, it started off crazy already, but thankfully we're all here, and we're all having a great time.
The best. Absolutely the best. It's been busy, but busy good.
Yeah.
So I'm always happy about that.
Of course, busy's always good, so tell everyone a little bit about what you do.
Okay, well, I'm in the fashion industry, obviously. Hello. And at this point, well, let me tell you about my past. I was one of the founders of DKNY with Donna Karan and Jane for back in the early 90s. And I was working for Donna for over 20 years. So I was one of the founders of the accessory line at Donna. And I've stayed in the industry. I'm a stylist, I'm a designer, I'm a brand ambassador for Rachel Brown Jewelry and stylist for Richie Rich Heatherette. And my own jewelry line will be coming out within the next year.
Congratulations, that's amazing. Your own jewelry line? Right.
Jules, I love it.
That's beautiful.
Thank you. It's time that the world gets back into beautiful jewelry that's well priced, that isn't crazy priced, but just wonderful upper scale jewelry that's not online, that's not garbage, that people want to wear because I walk around, they love my hair, I'm into extensions, they love my jewelry, and I want to tell them where they can get their hair done, look like Lady Gaga, do your jewelry. I want people that are the baby boomer ages to look fabulous without looking ridiculous. That's my goal.
And how did you get involved with working in DKNY and within the fashion industry? What sparked that in you?
Well, I was a retailer for 25 years and I was buying the line. I met Donna in the showroom and she said, Shelly, come and work for me. I want you to work in the company. And that was before DKNY when it was just starting. And I was lucky I was buying Donna Karan for my stores. And then luckily she said, we're starting DKNY, we'd love to have you there. So I said, okay, and 23 years later, I was still there, helping get started. It was amazing. Traveled all over the world. So I've been in retail, fashion for many, many years, because I've been around many years.
That's amazing, congratulations.
Thank you so much.
So you said you're opening your own line coming up soon. What are your future plans regarding that?
Well, I really want to get into a price point that's very affordable, looking fabulous, age appropriate. There's just so much garbage out there, I hate to say, and retail is suffering so badly because of the internet. Not that I have anything against buying online, but I think it's time to go back into the stores, service, giving great product, and people having fun, getting out there, not just sitting on the computer all day. I don't even have Instagram anymore because I just couldn't handle it every 5 minutes. Are you on Instagram? Are you on Twitter? I say, no. I'm on Facebook. I'm one of the original Facebooks, and I'll always stay on Facebook. You want to find me on Facebook.
So that's my last question. How can people connect to you and find you on Facebook or so?
Just my name, Shelly Bromfield, on Facebook. You can find me.
Can you spell it out for our viewers?
SHELLY BROMFIELD. I'm on Facebook. Facebook me, and please just say where you met me or where you heard me, because I don't always accept, so many people. And I have a little bit of Instagram. My friends are making me go back on it. And so I'm Shelly Bromfield Bling something on Instagram. I don't know how you can find me. I have followers and I'm not even on it, so I have no idea. And until I get better at technology, and I may be doing influencing and blogging. I have that opportunity has come my way. So we'll see.
Well, more blessings to you in 2020. Shelly, it's a pleasure talking to you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. It was my pleasure. I so appreciate meeting you, and Happy New Year, everybody.
Happy New Year, guys, and we're out.
The financial crisis is 5 years old, but for its origins you have to go back much further. In the 1970s, 30 years of post-war boom, lubricated by cheap oil, came to an abrupt halt. Prices rose, living standards fell. Recovery was fitful. It wasn't until the 1990s that the good times came round again. And when they did, cheap credit made it easy for Western consumers to spend beyond their means. And so gradually, ominously, the biggest debt bubble in history began to inflate. From Washington to London, Dublin and Madrid, regulations were relaxed on who could have a mortgage. With cheap money everywhere, home buyers could buy a house and release capital to buy a new flat-screen TV, or 3. There was no shortage of willing lenders. The Chinese, who had been selling billions worth of goods to the West for a generation or two, were perpetually looking for somewhere to park their cash. Ireland and Spain, like the US, allowed their banks to lend hundreds of billions to developers who built homes in obscure areas and in large numbers. Huge private housing estates popped up in the most unlikely places. In the UK, restrictions on house building encouraged the banks to lend on commercial property developments. And when that wasn't enough to generate super profits, they joined in the lending frenzy in the US, Ireland and Spain. The debt bubble grew larger. By 2007, it became clear that the bubble was growing unstable. Banks in the US had been lending freely to less and less creditworthy customers in the hope of making bigger returns. And they had packaged up risky mortgages into bundles with no idea how safe they were. In the now famous meat pie analogy, nobody knew which pies were infected with bad disease. By that you mean bad debts. All were considered toxic. Banks' balance sheets were poisoned. Lending markets seized up. Central bankers came to their rescue, but the bubbles of debt were so large, only governments could cope. Many banks were given huge dollops of cash or nationalised. In this way, the debt bubble was pushed out of the private sector, only to pop up in the public sector. National state finances were pushed to the edge. In Europe, austerity cuts were seized on as the answer to try and pay down the debt bubble little by little. The fear is that this will merely transfer penury and renewed indebtedness back to private individuals, back where it started. In Britain, the demand that we cut the government's debts while households and companies pay back theirs has meant a second recession in 3 years. No one is investing or spending. Without either, there can be no growth. The only solution may be to borrow again and sow the seeds of the next disaster.
Rooftop, and I have with me the wonderful, legendary Richie Rich.
What's up? How y'all doing, ba-boom?
Happy New Year!
Happy New Year. 2020 is going to be visionary, baby.
So, Richie Rich, tell everyone a little bit about what you do.
Actually, we're here at the Hotel Empire. I used to do a lot of parties here in the 90s and 2000s, which is still the 2000s. I was known as a club kid here in New York City, and we would do all the big clubs, travel the world, do the talk shows, Joan Rivers, Geraldo, all that. And through that, I started making clothes for my friends and I, and launched a line called Heatherette, and did shows at Bryant Park, Lincoln Center across the street. Ellen DeGeneres walked on one of my shows as a surprise finale. Paris Hilton's walked my runways, Naomi Campbell, Kim Kardashian, and lots of fun pop culture driven. Fergie, Kelly Osbourne, you name it. Fun up the wazoo. So yeah, a lot of good stuff.
So what are you currently doing right now? I mean, your career is so vast and wide. What's the mission?
So right now I'm about to launch a new line under the Richie Rich brand. It's going to be cosmetics. I did a line with MAC Cosmetics a while back. And then also apparel, a new clothing brand. And I'm in an off-Broadway show called Fearless that's coming out in February. So it's going to be fun. It's about a porn star and a club kid. So it's a really big stretch out there, baby. And yeah, I'm going to do something in Japan coming up. I do a lot in Tokyo and going to Europe again. And it's going to be fun. And I'm working on a book. I want to make it a movie.
You got to do it all. So what inspired you? What was your first break or your first moment that you said, this is what I want to do?
I think just sitting in high school, just knowing that I'm not of the norm, meaning like a cubicle desk, there's nothing wrong with them because we like that kind of desk. But it's like, I just knew I wanted to do art, fashion, all that. And I was in California. So my dad worked for the New York Times when I was little. And then we moved to the other side of the country. And I always knew I'd want to be in New York, and New York opened all the gates for me, and everything I've done is exactly what I imagined so far. So
what's one piece of advice you could give someone who's trying to pursue the same type of path that you're currently on?
I think especially that we're here at a networking event. My friend Shelly, she created Donna Karen DKNY, and she's still amazingly creating things. She sells a lot of my shows. She was here and she's like, "Do you want to come?" And I said, "Sure, I'm open to anywhere and everywhere." And I would just network. I mean, even if you're in fashion school or any kind of school, always take a business class. Learn business first. I mean, that's the worst part of being creative. My friend Mark Jacobs, a designer, taught me that years ago. And you have to really be smart about it. You can have the best talent in the world, but there's shysters out there. You got to be careful, like Shark Tank. So I could tell you stories about that one. But anyways, so you got to be careful and just be yourself and meet people. Go out and show. Nobody's going to know what you're doing if you don't let them see it.
That's perfect. You have to know the craft that you're going into in the industry where you're going.
And there's no rules. Like, don't worry about it. Especially with social media these days, I think people get so caught up in oh no, and like, oh, some people are, and some people are way exposed, but it's all great. So just do your thing and have fun and meet people.
Last question, how can people connect with you online?
Oh, my Instagram, which I have to get better at. I admit it, but I love it. I love posting and posting and posting. It's Richerette, RICHERETTE. Richerette. Boom.
Richard Rich, it's a pleasure talking to you. Happy New Year. Thank you so much. And we're out. Thank you so much. I'm here with Odell. Odell, how you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Odell, it's 2020. Tell everyone a little bit about yourself.
I'm just a young entrepreneur. I work in the financial services industry with New York Life. I'm here just to protect families and help people invest their money and learn new things. So
how'd you get involved in New York Life and start on your entrepreneur path?
Well, that's a funny story. My recruiter, she went to my alma mater, Siena College, and that's how she recruited me. She spoke to me, and I fell in love with what she was talking about. And after I spoke to her, I'm like, I had to work here. I want to follow in your footsteps, and that's currently what I'm doing right now.
What made you say I want to be an entrepreneur?
Making your own hours, being able to put in the work and get the rewards that you put in, and just being able to say you're your own boss.
It's always that drive and stuff that keeps you pushing forward. So moving forward, where do you see yourself going in the future career-wise?
Career-wise, I still see myself as a financial advisor, but I see myself reaching a wider net of people and protecting way more families and helping people invest their money even better.
Odell, how can people connect with you online on social media?
Well, the way people can connect with me online is through LinkedIn, which is Odell, Odell, and space Ventura, Ventura. And my Instagram is Odell, V_.
Odell, it's a pleasure talking to you. Thank you so much. Happy New Year.
No problem, man. Happy New Year.
Hey guys, today I'd like to add some value to your lives by talking about some tips for intermittent fasting. If you don't know what intermittent fasting is, it's a period of time in which you fast for the majority of the day and allow yourself an 8-hour period in which you can eat. You can choose at which point of the day in which you want to eat, but many tend to wait until after lunch to start eating. So that's going to be my first tip. Don't eat anything until 4 to 6 hours after waking up. You can go even further if you have the capability to persist through longer periods of time while fasted. My second tip is that you need to prepare yourself by not eating anything 2 hours before bed. So 6 hours after you wake up and 2 hours before bed, try to not eat anything. My third tip is that you need to drink a lot of water. You need to also measure how much water you're drinking. You should try to drink at least 64 ounces of water a day, which seems like a very large amount of water, but after measuring it, it's actually not too bad. Also, the first meal that you eat, you should make sure that you don't overdo it, or else your stomach might start hurting, especially if it contains a lot of carbohydrates, non-fibers to be more specific, because your insulin levels will spike. Now, during the morning fasting periods, you need to try to find something that'll keep you busy, something that you can work on to try to get your mind off of food. This is something that one might struggle with in the beginning, but eventually you'll get used to it and won't be having to deal with many sensations of hunger. If you can, you should drink water the first thing as soon as you wake up. Drinking a glass of water will push off the sensation of hunger. It'll fill your stomach with liquid and it'll fool your brain into thinking that you're not hungry. Then 2 or 3 hours later, you can move on to the unsweetened black coffee. It is important for it to not have any sweetener in it or creamer because it'll break the fast. The whole idea behind fasting is for you to use your stored energy, either your stored glycogen or fat. You can also drink sparkling water or carbonated water. Probably one of the biggest tips that I can give you for intermittent fasting if you're trying to reduce your morning hunger is that you need to go into it with a positive mindset. If you go into thinking it's probably not going to work, then you're actually going to have psychological influences that are going to make it much harder for you. So you need to go into it with an open mindset. Intermittent fasting is a lot easier than what most people believe. And the last tip I'm going to give you is that you should test it out for yourself. Don't believe anyone else's reviews, because everybody is different. You should try it for at least 2 months before giving up on it in order to fully experience it and see its influences on your body. I can guarantee you if it works for 2 months, it'll work for a year. You should also measure your results in order to properly figure out whether it's good for you or not. Many people burn a lot of fat and actually lower their body fat percentage through intermittent fasting, which is why it's a great type of diet when you're in a cutting season for bodybuilders, while also giving you a feeling of satisfaction in terms of hunger in comparison to other forms of diet. I also recommend that you should see your doctor if you take medicine in the morning that requires food, because this method might not be good for you, and if you have any other serious health concerns that restrict your eating habits. The main point here is if you have any serious health conditions, you should talk to your doctor first.
Empire Rooftop, and I have with me Jeff Zelensky. Jeff, how are you today?
I am doing well. How about yourself?
Jeff, I'm doing fine. Thank you so much. So, Jeff, tell everyone a little bit about what you do today.
Well, I'm a professional speaker and trainer, and I help businesses to be able to improve their overall profitability, their cash flow, revenue, and we do that through a process of being able to understand how an individual employee works, their productivity in the workplace, and help them to be able to improve the overall effectiveness and efficiency in the work that they do. And that leads to profitability.
And what's your background? How did you get involved in that type of industry and work?
Well, the background that I have, the last 25 years, I've been a performance improvement consultant. So I've gone into companies, helped them improve overall performance. In the last 10 years, I've been a professional speaker and trainer. And in doing that, I've done over 1,500 seminar days in the last 10 years. So in working with it, it's sort of one of those you fall into it sort of accidentally, yet it's something that we all have strengths, we all have an ability within us to achieve the things that we want in life, and that comes from finding out who we are on the inside and being able to latch onto that and to be able to build from there.
So it's a lot of soul searching and a lot of just knowing what you want and going for it.
And a lot of late nights and waking up in the middle of the night with an idea here or there.
So Jeff, what's the name of your company? When did you start your company?
The name of the company that I have is Performaforce, and that is PERFORMIFORCE. And with Performaforce, we're a workforce performance improvement company, and we work with small to medium-sized businesses, help them to be able to improve that cash flow and revenue.
And what are your plans for the future with your business?
Plans with the future is we just developed our business this last fall. We're headquartered in Anchorage, Alaska. I live in Ohio.
And you're out here in New York?
And I'm in New York, building business here in New York, which is where the things happen. And we have a projection that we want to do $1 million in revenue this year, in 2020, and within 5 years, 50 million.
Beautiful. That's beautiful and well said. So best of luck to your goals, but how can people connect with you on social media or learn more about your business?
Well, they can go to www.performaforce.com. Again, that's PERFORCE.com. So it's performaforce.com.
Well, Jeff, it's a pleasure talking to you. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you.
And Happy New Year. And we're out.